Alex Eala makes history by becoming the first Filipino to win a WTA Tour Championship. Eala's victory at the DC Open has propelled the 21-year-old athlete to a career-high top 20 WTA ranking.
Alex Eala played at the Cincinnati Open and earned 65 ranking points. But her official ranking points total only went up by 5. 5! That's not a glitch. That's the WTA ranking system working exactly the way it was built to work. And once you see the mechanism, you'll understand how brutal it is to crack the top 10. Let's rewind 3 weeks. Washington, D.C. She wins the title, gets 500 points. Toronto, round of 16, 120. Cincinnati, round of 32, 65. Added up, 685 ranking points in 3 tournaments in under a month. But her official total didn't go up by 685. It didn't go up by 600. It went up by roughly 555. And 555 is the good version of this story. Now look up her ranking online. Officially, 20. Check another list? 15. Check a live ranking site. As of this recording, it's about 18. 20. 15, 18. Same player, same day, and all 3 of those numbers are correct. Confused? Okay, let's figure this out. What does a WTA 250, a 500, and a 1000 actually pay out? How can Alex earn 65 points and only move 5? Why does Alex have 3 different rankings at once? And the question everybody started asking the second she lifted that trophy in Washington. What would it take for Alex to crack the top 10? The WTA ranking is a scoreboard. Enter tournaments, win matches, go deep, collect points. More points, higher ranking. But not every tournament pays the same, because pro tennis is a hierarchy. And this is the part that's easy to miss. Bottom rung of the main tour, the WTA 250. Win it and you get 250 points. Step up, the WTA 500. Win it, and you get 500 points. Then the WTA 1000, the biggest events on the regular tour. Win one, and you get 1,000 points. And sitting above all of it, the 4 Grand Slams. Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, US Open. Win one of those, you get 2,000 points. So that's the ladder, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000. But here's the catch. Those numbers are what the winner gets. Everybody else gets a different amount based on how far they make it. And Alex's last 3 weeks are a perfect demonstration. Washington is a WTA 500 tournament. Alex wins the whole thing. Maximum payout, 500 points, no asterisks. Huge. Then Toronto. Canadian Open, WTA 1000. And this is where the label fools people. Playing a WTA 1000 doesn't mean you get 1,000 points. That's for the champion only. Alex reaches the round of 16, and the round of 16 only gets her 120 points. Then Cincinnati. Another WTA 1000. Round of 32. She gets 65 points. Both WTA 1000s, wildly different payouts. The category tells you what the event is worth at the top. The round you reach tells you what you actually get. And one more rule. The ranking doesn't care how you won. Doesn't care if it was 3 sets and a tiebreak. Doesn't care if you beat the world number 1 or the world number 80. Take down the best player on the planet. Enormous story, massive upset, potentially career-defining, and there isn't one bonus ranking point for it. And the points don't stack round by round. Reach a Grand Slam quarterfinal, and you don't add the first round, plus the second, plus the third, plus the round of 16, plus the quarters. All you get is the value of the stage you reached, period. At the US Open, that ladder looks like this. First round, 10. Second round, 70. Third round, 130. Round of 16, 240. Quarterfinal, 430. Semifinal, 780. Final, 1,300. Champion, 2,000. Seems logical. Logical, that is, until we hit the next rule. Ranking points don't accumulate forever. The official ranking is a rolling resume, roughly the last 52 weeks. Results go on. Then, about a year later, they come off. That's where you get the phrase you hear all over tennis broadcasts, defending points. Here's how brutal that can be. A player wins a title, banks 500. A year later, those 500 points come due. Win it again? Perfect. Old 500 off, new 500 on, nothing changes. Lose in the first round instead? The 500 vanishes, and about 10 points replace it. She just played a tournament, and her ranking falls off a cliff. There's a second layer. The WTA doesn't count every event you enter. For most top players, think of the ranking as roughly an 18-result resume, and those 18 slots aren't interchangeable. The system requires results from the majors, including the Grand Slams and designated WTA 1000s, alongside your other best eligible results. Qualify for the WTA finals, and that can count as an extra. So 18 slots is a great way to picture it. Just remember, some of those slots come with strings attached. Which brings us to the single most important sentence in this video. The points you earn at a tournament are not the same thing as the points you add to your ranking. And Alex just gave us 3 textbook examples in 3 weeks. Before Washington, Alex is around number 28 in the world with roughly 1,666 points. She wins a WTA 500. Result value, 500. Rankings update. She jumps 8 spots. 28 to 20. Top 20. Career high. Breakthrough. But her total didn't go up 500. It went from about 1,666 to about 2,106. That's roughly 440. So where did the other 60 go? They were already on the resume from last year. The Washington title improved her countable total by about 440 because roughly 60 points that had been contributing got displaced. Think of it like a job resume. There are only so many lines. The weakest line gets deleted, the 500-point line goes in, and what you gain is the difference. 500 goes in, 60 comes out. That's 440 net. And at that part of the rankings, 440 is enormous. That's how Alex's one championship fires her past 8 competitors in a single update. So Washington was the explosion, but Toronto added a layer. Canadian Open, WTA 1000, round of 16. Result value, 120. Total goes from about 2,106 to about 2,216. Net gain, 110. Why not the full 120? At the Canadian Open last year, Alex lost in the first round, about 10 points. That old result comes off. The new one goes on. 120 in, 10 out, 110 net. When you hear someone say, defending points, this is what they mean. And now the pattern's showing. Washington, 500-point result, 440 net. Toronto, 120-point result, 110 net. But then, Cincinnati exposes the whole system. Round of 32 in Cincinnati. Result value, 65 ranking points. So, let's do the math. She's got 2,216. Add 65. That's 2,281. Right? Wrong. As of this recording, the live calculation had her at roughly 2,221, an improvement of about 5 points. 5! How does a player earn 65 points at a WTA 1000 and improve her resume by just 5? That's because the result doesn't exist in a vacuum. A result worth roughly 60 was already sitting in her countable total. Cincinnati doesn't get added to it. Cincinnati replaces it. 65 in, 60 out, 5 net. And just to be clear, That 65-point result is completely real. She earned it. It goes in the books, but the resume barely changed at all, which is the whole lesson. Once you're good, new results have to beat the results you already have. The more successful you are, every additional point gets harder to gain. Now the twist. You can gain almost nothing and still climb several spots, because Alex isn't climbing a fixed ladder. Everybody on that ladder is moving. Every single week. A player ahead of her might have 300 points fall off. Another one might be defending a title but loses in the first round. Somebody behind her might win a WTA 500 out of nowhere and leapfrog 4 players at once. So your ranking position depends on 2 things: what you do and what everyone around you does. That's why rankings might move for players who aren't even playing. And it's exactly why she can be 3 different numbers at the same time: 20, 15, 18. Because those 3 numbers are answering 3 completely different questions. Number 1, 20. That's her official WTA singles ranking. When someone says, Alex Eala is the 20th best women's tennis player in the world, this is the number they mean. Rolling body of results. Roughly 52 weeks. Points entering, points leaving, results defended, results replaced. This is the number that decides seedings and entry into events. Number 2, 15. That's the race to the WTA finals, a completely different scoreboard. The race only cares about the current season, as players compete for one of the spots at the year-end WTA finals. So the official ranking asks, how strong is your rolling 52-week resume? The race ranking asks, how good has your current season been year to date? And as of this recording, Alex is doing better in the race rankings. 20 officially, but 15 in the race. That doesn't mean she's secretly the 15th best player in the world. It means her 2026 has been strong enough to put her 15th in the season-long chase, and that her current year-to-date performance is running ahead of her rolling 52-week resume. Which brings us to number 3, the live ranking. The live ranking is not an official WTA ranking. Live ranking sites run unofficial projections to forecast what the next official list would look like if it updated right now. They're trying to account for new results, points dropping off, replacement results, and everybody else's movement. That's how, as of this recording, Alex is officially still 20, while the live projection has her at 18. And that number isn't stable. Somebody wins tomorrow, the projection moves. Somebody loses, it moves again. So, to recap, the official ranking is where she stands officially, roughly based on the past 52 weeks. The race ranking is how good her 2026 season's been year to date. The live ranking is a forecast of where the next official list may be headed. Now that we know, let's talk about the tournament where all these numbers get serious. The US Open, Grand Slam, highest level in the sport, and the scale goes through the roof. 10 for the first round, 70 for the second, 130 for the third, 240 for the round of 16, 430 for a quarterfinal, 780 for a semi, 1,300 for the final, 2,000 for the title. And here's Alex's position, which is great news for her. Last year at Flushing Meadows, she reached the second round and got 70 points. 70. That's all she's defending. Compare that to a player defending a semi-final, or a final, or a championship. Those players have to reproduce a career week just to break even. Alex has almost nothing to lose. So let's run it through the machine. In, out, net. Second round again? It's a wash. Third round, 130 in, 70 out. She's up 60. Round of 16, 240 in. That's 170 net. Quarterfinal, 430 in, 360 net. Semifinal, 780 in, 710 net. Making it to the semis would be bigger than her Washington title. Final, 1,300 in, 1,230 net. Champion? 2,000 in, with a net gain of a whopping 1,930 points, which is exactly where the top 10 conversation gets interesting. As of this recording, Alex has a little over 2,200 official ranking points. The current top 10 cutoff sits above 4,300. That gap is more than 2,000 points, so she has to nearly double her resume. WTA 250 title? 250 points. Nice, but not even close. Another WTA 500 title? 500. Big. Also not close. Win a WTA 1000 outright? 1,000 points. A monster result. And even that on its own won't be enough to bridge the gap. Now here's the number that puts it all into perspective. Let's say she wins the US Open. The whole thing. 7 matches, 2,000 points, net gain of 1,930. As of this recording, that's still not enough for her to get into the club. That's the harsh reality of what it costs to get into the top 10. So in order for Alex to get into the top 10, she'll need more than 2 magical weeks in New York. The points are stacking. So, another WTA 500 title, a deep 1,000 run, then maybe a Grand Slam quarterfinal, maybe a semi, maybe a final. And then keep doing it all again next year, because the old points are always rolling off. And don't forget, the players in the top 10 aren't standing around waiting. They're playing, defending, winning, adding. It's a moving target. That cutoff number of around 4,300, that isn't a wall. It breathes. If the players sitting 8th, 9th, and 10th have big results falling off their resumes this autumn, that line drops toward her while she's climbing toward it. If they hold serve and win, it climbs away. Which means the top 10 isn't purely a math problem she solves alone. It's a race where the finish line is also running. Which is why the race number is the most encouraging one on the board. Officially, she's at 20. In the race, she's at 15. Again, that doesn't make her the world number 15. But it tells you the results she's producing this year are stronger than her rolling resume suggests. The question now, can she stack major results at a Grand Slam? Because that's where the numbers explode. So when Alex walks out at the US Open, don't just watch the score. Watch the round. Watch the points on the line. Watch what she's defending. Watch what's coming off the back end. And watch the players around her because they're moving too. And suddenly, those 3 weird numbers make total sense. 20 is where she officially stands. 15 in the race is how good her 2026 has been. And the live ranking of 18 is a moving projection of where she may be heading next. Underneath all of it is the bigger story. Washington was the breakthrough, but Cincinnati showed how hard every extra point gets once you're actually good. And now the biggest prize is waiting on the table. 2,000 ranking points. For Alex, the question is no longer, can she break through? That already happened with her top 20. The question now is, how high will she climb?